Peppa Pig, Peppa and the Flying Vet. Peppa has brought Goldie the fish to the vet for a checkup. "You've got a healthy fish, Peppa," says Dr. Hamster. "Thank you," says Peppa. Suddenly, Dr. Hamster's telephone rings. It is Mr. Elephant. "Hello, Dr. Hamster," he says. "We found a sick lizard in the mountains." It's a gecko, not a lizard," adds Edmund Elephant. "I'll be right there," says Dr. Hamster. Dr. Hamster springs into action. "Can we come too?" asks Peppa. "Of course," replies the vet. "All aboard the aeroplane." "I didn't know you had an aeroplane, Dr. Hamster," says Mammy Pig. "Oh yes," replies Dr. Hamster proudly. "I'm the flying vet." Mr. Elephant spots the aeroplane in the sky. "Thank goodness," he exclaims. "The vet is here." When Dr. Hamster lands, she calls, "Where's the sick lizard?" "This poor lizard is upside down," says Dr. Hamster, flipping it over. "There, he's all better." Then Dr. Hamster's mobile phone rings. "This must be another emergency," she says, answering the call. "Hello, Grandpa Pig here," says Grandpa Pig. "It's Polly, she's sick." "I'll be right there," promises Dr. Hamster. So Peppa, George and Mammy Pig jump back into the aeroplane. "Look, Polly, it's the flying vet," cries Grandpa Pig when he sees the airplane. "We're going into the sea," cries Peppa. "This is a seaplane, Peppa," says Dr. Hamster. "We can land on the water." "Polly has been ill since we got on board," explains Grandpa Pig. "She must be seasick," says Dr. Hamster. And when Grandpa Pig puts Polly on dry land, she soon feels much better. Dr. Hamster's mobile phone rings again. It is Daddy Pig in his office. "There are some ducklings stuck on our roof," says Daddy Pig. "You're just in time," says Daddy Pig. "Mrs. Duck laid her eggs on our roof," says Mrs. Cat.
Meow.
"And they hatched," adds Mr. Rabbit. "But the ducklings don't know the way to the pond." "Who can make a quacking noise?" asks Dr. Hamster. "Quack, quack," says Peppa, and the ducklings follow her back to the pond. Dr. Hamster's phone rings for a fourth time. "Is it another emergency?" asks Peppa hopefully. "Yes, that was Mr. Hamster," says Dr. Hamster. "I'm late for tea. Must fly." "Thanks for your help," everyone cries, waving her off in her airplane. "No problem," Dr. Hamster calls. "It's all in a day's work for the flying vet." The end. Peppa Pig, dentist trip. Every morning, Peppa and George brush their teeth. Scrub, scrub, scrub. "George, are your teeth as clean as mine?" Peppa asks, showing off her clean white teeth. "You both have lovely clean teeth. I'm sure the dentist will be very happy," calls out Daddy Pig. Later that day, Peppa and George are at the dentist, waiting for their checkup. It is George's first visit. "Peppa, George, the dentist will see you now," says Miss Rabbit, the nurse. Hooray! They both cheer. This is Dr. Elephant, the dentist. Who's first? He asks. I'm first, replies Peppa. I'm a big girl. Watch me, George. Open wide, please, orders Dr. Elephant softly. Ah! Peppa opens her mouth as wide as she possibly can. Let's take a look, says the dentist, checking Peppa's white teeth with a mirror. There, all done. What lovely clean teeth, cheers Dr. Elephant. Now you can have the special drink. Peppa spits the pink liquid out into the sink. It's George's turn next. George does not want it to be his turn, so the dentist lets him hold Mr. Dinosaur. All done. You have very strong, clean teeth, George, smiles Dr. Elephant. But wait, what is this? Cries Dr. Elephant. George has very clean teeth, but this young dinosaur's teeth are very dirty. The water jet, please, Miss Rabbit, orders the dentist. He uses the water to clean Mr. Dinosaur's teeth. Slosh, slosh, slosh. Pink! Cries George, picking up a glass. That's right, George, says the dentist. Mr. Dinosaur needs some special pink drink. Gosh, what shiny teeth you have, Mr. Dinosaur, cries Miss Rabbit. Dinosaur! Arr! Snorts George. George loves Mr. Dinosaur, especially now that he has nice, clean teeth. The end. Peppa Pig, not very well. Peppa has red spots on her face. I don't feel very well, she says. Oh dear, Mummy Pig frowns. You don't look very well. She decides to call Dr. Brown Bear. Dr. Brown Bear is sitting in his surgery. He listens very carefully to Mummy Pig. Says Dr. Brown Bear. Put Peppa to bed and I'll come straight round. Dr. Brown Bear drives over to Peppa's house. He has come to make her better. Hello, says Dr. Brown Bear. How are you today? I'm not very well, Peppa sighs. Dr. Brown Bear tells Peppa to stick out her tongue and say, ah. Dr. Brown Bear nods his head. It's not anything serious, he says. Peppa has just got a rash. Peppa has a rash. It is very exciting. Do I need medicine? She asks. The rash will clear up quickly, says Dr. Brown Bear. But if you like, I can give you just a little medicine. Yes, please, says Peppa. Peppa snorts. The medicine tastes disgusting. I will come back later to check that you are better, says Dr. Brown Bear. Can Peppa have visitors? Asks Mummy Pig. Oh yes, says Dr. Brown Bear. The rash isn't catching. Mummy Pig rings up Susie Sheep's mummy. May Peppa talk to Susie Sheep, please? She says. Susie comes to the phone. Peppa tells her about the spots and the medicine and being really ill. I'm coming to see you, Susie says, in my nurse's outfit. Susie arrives in her nurse's outfit. Danny Dog and Rebecca Rabbit have come along too. Hello, Peppa, they say. I'm not very well, says Peppa. I have to stay in bed. Poor Peppa. Susie, Danny and Rebecca wonder what they can do to make her better. Peppa asks Susie to bring her some orange juice. She thinks up some things for Danny and Rebecca to do too. Do you feel any better now? asks Susie. Peppa sighs. A little bit. Dr. Brown Bear arrives. He has come to see how Peppa is doing. No more red spots, he says. You're completely better. Aren't I still a bit ill? asks Peppa. Peppa wonders if she should stay in bed just in case. Daddy Pig looks out of the window. I fancy a game in the garden, he says. Who wants to join me? Me, say Susie, Danny and Rebecca. And me, shouts Peppa. Hooray! Peppa is feeling better after all. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's first glasses. Peppa and George are outside playing with their friend Pedro Pony. They are busy jumping in muddy puddles. Splash, splosh, splish. Ha 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 ha! Peppa giggles as she jumps up and down. Ah! Oh! Pedro exclaims as he slips into a puddle and falls over. His glasses fly high into the air and land on the grass. Where are my glasses? Pedro asks Peppa and George, stumbling about. Pedro can't see very well without them. Peppa and George look for Pedro's glasses. George quickly finds them and then tries them on. Silly George, Peppa says. She takes the glasses and gives them back to Pedro. Here they are. Thank you, says Pedro as he puts them on. Pedro, why do you wear glasses? Peppa asks. I need to, replies Pedro. My daddy said so. He's an optician. What's an optician? Peppa wonders. Pedro explains. An optician checks that you can see clearly. He does an eye test. Shall I give you an eye test? Pedro asks Peppa. Peppa agrees and Pedro leans in close. Interesting, he says, rubbing his chin. Close one eye and say what you can see. I can see George, Peppa says. George snorts. Now close both eyes, Pedro instructs Peppa. Peppa closes both her eyes. I can't see anything, Peppa says. Can't see anything. Very, very interesting, Pedro says. I think you need glasses. Soon it is Pedro's home time. He waves goodbye to his friends and goes home with his mum. Peppa and George go inside. Pedro gave me an eye test and I need glasses, says Peppa. When I closed my eyes, I couldn't see anything. No one can see anything with their eyes closed, Mummy Pig explains. But, Peppa sighs, Pedro knows all about glasses. All right, Peppa, chuckles Daddy Pig. Let's take you to the optician for a proper eye test. Peppa and Mummy Pig are at the optician's. What can I do for you, Mr. Pony? asks Peppa. I need an eye test, please, Peppa replies, jumping up into his special chair. Of course, Mr. Pony says. Put these special glasses on and then look at the chart. Mr. Pony is going to test Peppa's eyes. Can you read these for me, please? asks Mr. Pony, pointing at some numbers. Peppa says what she sees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good, Mr. Pony says. And now these colours, please. Red, orange, blue, green, yellow, purple, says Peppa. Excellent, Mr. Pony says. Mammy Pig helps Peppa to try on some glasses while Mr. Pony checks the test results. Some pairs look a little funny. How about these, Mammy Pig, says to Peppa, holding out some red-hearted shaped glasses. Wow, I like these ones, Mammy, says Peppa. They both agree that Peppa looks fantastic in the glasses. Mr. Pony comes back with the results. Good news! Peppa has perfect eyesight. Oh, so I don't need glasses, Peppa sighs disappointedly. But I really wanted some. Oh, Mr. Pony says, thinking, I suppose you could have some sunglasses. Peppa puts on a pair of red heart-shaped sunglasses. Fantastic, Peppa says. I hope it's sunny every day so I can always wear them. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa gets a vaccination. Mammy Pig was taking Peppa to the doctor for her health check and vaccination. Are we all ready? Said Mammy Pig. Yes, said Peppa. I've got Teddy. And I've got your red book, added Mammy Pig. What's that? Asked Peppa. It's your very own book, said Mammy Pig. It helps doctors see how you're growing up.
Wow!
Hello, Peppa, said Dr. Brown Bear when they arrived. Have you come for your health check and vaccination? Yes, said Peppa. I've brought my red book and Teddy too. Very good, said Dr. Brown Bear. You're seeing Dr. Polar Bear today. Suddenly, a bell rang. Ah, that means she's ready to see you, explained Dr. Brown Bear. Peppa and Mummy Pig walked into the doctor's office. Hello, said Dr. Polar Bear cheerily. Who do we have here? I'm Peppa, said Peppa, and this is Teddy. Lovely, said Dr. Polar Bear. Now, did you bring your red book? Peppa handed her book to Dr. Polar Bear. Excellent, said Dr. Polar Bear. Let's start by seeing how tall you are, said Dr. Polar Bear. She took Peppa over to the measuring stick. Peppa stood up very straight. Wonderfully done, said Dr. Polar Bear. I'm a big girl now, Peppa said proudly. Yes, you are, said Dr. Polar Bear. She got out her pen and wrote Peppa's height in the red book. Now, Peppa, can you hop on these for me, please? Said Dr. Polar Bear, pointing to her weighing scales. Peppa stepped onto the scales. These scales tell us how heavy you are, said Dr. Polar Bear. Ooh, said Peppa. That's good, said Dr. Polar Bear, writing in Peppa's red book again. Now, it's time to use a stethoscope to listen to your heart, said Dr. Polar Bear. What is a stethoscope? Asked Peppa. A stethoscope helps me hear your heartbeat.
Wow.
And the air going in and out of your lungs, said Dr. Polar Bear. I put this bit on your chest and listen through the earpieces. Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear, would you like to listen to your heart beating? Yes, please, cried Peppa. Dr. Polar Bear put the stethoscope earpieces on Peppa's ears. Said Peppa. It's going bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump. Bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump. Now it's your turn, Teddy, said Peppa, putting the stethoscope's chest piece on Teddy's chest. Is Teddy's heart going bumpy bump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump? Asked Dr. Polar Bear. No, said Peppa. Teddy's heart doesn't do that because Teddy is a toy. Oh, I see, said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. Next, Dr. Polar Bear got out her special doctor's torch.
Wow.
I'm going to look in your ears now, she said. Dr. Polar Bear shone the torch into each of Peppa's ears. said Peppa. That tickles. Dr. Polar Bear checked carefully inside Peppa's ears. That all looks lovely, she said. Now I'll check your mouth, said Dr. Polar Bear. I need you to open wide and say, ah. Dr. Polar Bear opened her mouth and showed Peppa what to do. Like this. Ah. Peppa opened her mouth as wide as it would go and stuck her tongue out. She yelled very loudly. Wonderful, said Dr. Polar Bear. Do you want to check my nose? asked Peppa. Thank you, Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear. I can see that your nose is working very well. Everyone laughed. Dr. Polar Bear put lots of ticks in Peppa's red book. Now, it's time for your vaccination, said Dr. Polar Bear. Do you know why we have vaccinations, Peppa? Peppa put her hand up. Yes, they stop us from getting ill, and that helps the people around us too. That's right, said Dr. Polar Bear, impressed. Sometimes vaccinations are given as a little spray in your nose and sometimes as a tiny pinprick in your arm. Peppa held Teddy as Dr. Polar Bear gave her the vaccination. It was very quick. Well done, Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear. Would you like a sticker now? Oh, yes, please, squealed Peppa, jumping up. I love stickers. Me too, said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. Are there any questions you want to ask me before you go, Mummy Pig? Said Dr. Polar Bear. No, thank you, Doctor, replied Mummy Pig. I have a question, cried Peppa. Have you had your vaccination, Dr. Polar Bear? Yes, Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear. Good. Then you can have a sticker too. Peppa loves getting stickers from the doctor. Everyone loves getting stickers from the doctor. The end. Peppa Pig and the Silly Sniffles. Peppa Pig and Susie Sheep are playing store. Susie Sheep stocks the shelves. Peppa takes the money. This is a fun job, says Peppa. Danny Dog is their first customer. Hello, I'll have some cookies, please. We don't have any cookies, says Susie, but we have a toy telephone. Candy Cat is next. May I have a loaf of bread, please?
Meow.
We don't have any bread, says Susie, but here's a toy house. More and more customers come in. Rebecca Rabbit buys a carrot. Zoe Zebra asks for apples, and Susie and Peppa sell her a toy truck. Being a shopkeeper is hard work, says Peppa. Pedro Pony comes in next. Achoo! Pedro has the sniffles.
Oh no!
Poor Pedro. Peppa and Susie don't have anything in their shop for him. Susie, says Peppa, let's play a game. We can help Pedro feel better.
Hooray!
Peppa and Susie go to the dress-up boxes and change into their new outfits. Then Dr. Peppa and Nurse Susie go to work. Let's have a look, Pedro, says Dr. Peppa. Peppa examines the patient. Oh, this is serious, she says. What should we do? Asks Nurse Susie. Peppa has an idea. She knows just what to do to make Pedro feel better.
Wow!
How's that, Pedro? Asks Susie. Don't worry, Pedro, says Peppa. I have another idea.
Hooray!
Are you feeling better yet, Pedro? Asks Susie. Achoo! Achoo! Not yet. Achoo!
Oh no!
Okay, I have an extra special treatment, says Peppa. Great idea, Peppa, says Susie. You are a very good doctor. Achoo! Peppa and Susie try again. They are giving Pedro a cast. But Peppa, says Pedro, I don't have a broken leg. I have the sniffles. Achoo! But everyone wants to see and sign Pedro's cast. Candy Cat draws a flower. Danny Dog draws a parrot. Zoe Zebra draws Mr. Potato. And Dr. Pepper draws a muddy puddle. Oh, I think I have the sniffles too,
Meow.
says Candy Cat. Can you help me, Dr. Pepper? Yes, me too, says Danny Dog. I need a cast. Everybody wants Dr. Pepper to help. I still have the sniffles, says Pedro, but I feel much better. Thank you, Nurse Susie. Thank you, Dr. Pepper. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.